because there is a high velocity road, so you're going to have to, if you're going to make a stone base. But normally them things they use anywhere from half-inch to 3/4 inch.
Aggregate. Not river stones.
Right. So them man cut in cost.
At our expense.
Yeah. So basically, going in the river, take the stones. Maybe they go smash it.
They wasn't smashing these stones you were seeing. They were just laying down the stones.
As the sub-base that forming the foundation of the road. You check? From the sub-base, then you lay what we call the macadam or the tarish or sand. You check? Most time they just use the tarish.
Yeah, but this gentleman is just using the raw river stone. He wasn't crushing these stones. Whole stones we were noticing when we went to the Emerald Pool the other day.
So even with that in itself, that is another problem issue because that would not pack properly. It would not compact properly.
So that means the road not going to last you 25, 30 years in the distance. But what I was saying is,
will have settlement issues and it will undulate. The surface of the road will always be undulating, and then you always have potholes. Because everything translating from the base come up. That's how it does get potholes. A lot of times it's soft spot. They calling it soft spot. You check. But it's because it's not compacted properly. The material is not up to standard, and so on. You check.
So what I was saying, Pyro, is this gentleman is an environmental disaster in Dominica because he's up in the Casablanca River destroying it. He's in the Layo River with an Ashford plant destroying the Layo River. So exactly, and what I come into is exactly what is the job and what is planning doing in Dominica about things of those nature that clearly affecting the built environment going forward. So I find it hard to understand.
The natural environment.
I find it hard to understand how these guys dredging the river and plan is absolutely unaware of the environmental impact that is going on up there.
From the video I see, they're not dredge.
But I don't know what to call it.
That is illegal mining, man.
Okay, you even find it a better way of stating
because what
it.
them man doing is mining the rocks of the river for them to use in the foundation of the road. You check, and that I don't see no license to do that. You check, or permit to do that. You check.
So that's planning supervised such projects.
They're supposed to.
So the
government supposed to have their project officers on site 24/7.
So would you consider that a clear failure of government not supervising such projects?
More than just not supervising, you check, because now the planning minister in himself directly responsible for that.
That is Prime Minister Roosevelt Scary,
yes.
Minister of Planning.
Now remember now, we are this whole talk about nature and of the Caribbean. The whole theme about building a resilient nature and a resilient country. And with that now you have to strike the protection of the natural environment. Now with the protection of the natural environment, there are laws, there is planning code, planning and regulation. A company cannot just choose to just go and mine the river, which I think, and planning supposed to have officers on this side and no officer, even forestry in the neighborhood, and nobody not reporting that, nobody, well, I shouldn't put it like that, but rephrase that. So, the thing about it, right, it's just like what you're asking. Planning within itself, and even the government supposed to have their representation on the side all the time, you check. So you're supposed to have, even if it's a project officer or a technician or something on the side, you check. All the time what's happening, you check. No, something like that, where you're destroying the natural environment, you check. something like that in the destruction of the natural environment. We're supposed to be protecting the natural environment because just like you said, there are quarries, other quarries, where they could purchase these stones, the aggregate, reject me, and truck it in, but that's an expense. So most likely them man, the way I see that is illegal mining of the rocks to cut an expense. I check in. I'm planning supposed to do something about that. So myself, the way I'm looking at it, when we have a prime minister that can allow them things to be happening under his nose, just like the quarry at Loda in the buffer zone
of the World
Heritage, the UNESCO World Heritage Park, right? National Park. And the planning minister allowing them to me. I feel like we as Dominicans right now, we're supposed to go and break down planning door. We check. Man supposed to go and stamp down planning door.
There are residents from Loda that try stopping that project the first time already.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not the residents. There is a minister of planning that overriding.
Residents try. The residents come together and block the mining of the tariff in Loda. The minister for planning or planning division itself fit to address that situation.
Yeah, we have a chief physical planner and we have a minister of planning. We have forestry and like you say, the people, which is the people, we are the last line of defense.
Right.
You check. So when all else fail and all else has failed, because just like I told her telling you, forestry, right? Try to get planning to issue stop order for that
the quarry
in
five
Loda
times,
five
occasions. Five.
If we have a planning minister and he doesn't understand what the importance of a national park is and the importance of a river to a community, to the country, to the society, and then he's out there selling the country as this natural, resilient.
This gentleman doesn't respect our natural environment when you can give foreigners 14 acres or whatever the amount to foreign development without the country having a stake in the investment. Clearly shows that this gentleman does not give two hoots about our natural environment.
I want to ask a question at that point. Maybe Pyro would be the best person to answer. You know, now that they've done that, you know, basically create a trench, a 1 mile trench all the way up the river. Up the river. Remember that we have the apartment sitting on the floodplain of the river, lower down.
Yes.
So what is the impact? What could be the potential impact of that kind of activity up there on the people that are living in the apartments down the road?
Well, like you say, the apartments in itself are already poorly located, right? Because they are located in a flood zone. And that area is an area that already known for flooding. Just because it is what you call the flood zone of because all rivers have that area where they naturally flood. Check when they expand and overflow their banks.
The floodplain.
Yeah, so when you come and you build apartments in the floodplain and then you go up river and you cause those type of destruction, it's inevitable that eventually the river going to come down and clip the area and it might cause some major destructions to the apartment and to lives. Some people might lose their life, nobody never really knows. So it's something and that is where the responsibility of planning comes in, because even in planning, part of the planning code telling you cannot build. Nobody is allowed to build under planning code 50 feet from any water source. Check. By law, you're not supposed to be allowed to build within 50 feet of any water source. And
But to me, they should Guadacan should be fired off that project here. Just fired off the project and need to compensate us here. Not fined and allowed to continue. Just fired off the project.
Now Guadacan in himself, I remember in 2006 when I was in St. Lucia with Guadacan used to be in St. Lucia. Now the Lucians kind of got tired of the quality of work and the way Guadacan used to do the work and they chase after him. And that is how Guadacan really end up Dominica.
So you see that? You're correct, Bojo. You see the Illusions, he was in Lucia and the Lucians and them for basically got fed up of him, of his what do you call the work? Substandard work and all that thing and no respect for the environment. Yes.
Right, so
we cannot accept.
No, Guadacan cannot show respect for our environment when the Minister of Planning and the Prime Minister does not show respect for our environment.
Exactly,
It's a trickle-down effect.
Exactly.
When the Ministry of Agriculture can send 5 orders to stop a quarry, and I assume you override it because you're the Minister of Planning, what do you think Guadacan going and do? When he probably have you in his back pocket or you on the kickback of them kind of vibes there. Because you know so he does operate.
It comes down to we the people.
Projects doesn't get handed out unless Mando getting kickback from the project. So you have a quarry at the beginning of the road with that big quarry that NH operating.
Yeah, them might still come and put a quarry across from
oh, that's another atrocity by Emerald Pool.
From Emerald Pool.
Not even a quarry, no, that's what they are squatting the road straight.
The quarry.
They stop that.
Well, they stop it, but
it's not a quarry I see. Last time I passed there, it's not a quarry I see there, no?
Yeah, from what I understand and what I know, it's a quarry.
They was doing?
Man that working in the system showing me is a quarry. Them man has put in there. When we was on this site.
It was a quarry. It was operating as a quarry.
Yeah, man.
You could see they don't come and get things, they do everything and they get in stone from there.
So what is the point of having a quarry at the beginning of the road? A massive tariff pit there that Public Works used to operate. Now NH
still operating.
Not NH are operating it now.
And they are operating the public now.
Well, Public Works. Alright. For free. Okay. Alright.
Because my partner, man goes school together too. The man that's running the quarry.
Okay. So instead of Public Works, selling the material to NH and the country getting a benefit, we just have foreigners managing every single major resource and sand, just like our passport. All of us supposed to eat from the sand that coming out of Dominica. Not no VAT. Not no nothing. We're supposed to eat on every dollar sand making Dominica. You understand? As a national resource, sand doesn't come back when you go with it.
Just like the oil is the Arab selling.
Yeah, that. And it's running the quarry in Pocassi right now.
Yes. But the asphalt.
Hold on a while. And it's running the quarry in Pocassi.
Yes.
Before Public Works used to be controlling the quarry.
That's before.
Point Michelle also. Where Carib Sand and Stone is.
Yes.
Public Works used to be running that quarry before.
Yes.
So right now you tell me Public Works have no quarry functioning, operating.
No.
So how Public Works workers getting paid?
We don't know.
I don't know.
How Public Works workers getting paid?
On contracts, whatever contracts Public Works doing.
But most of the contracts.
Public Works was there.
The Chinese people already now.
Works as well.
Public works has an asphalt. So, Mr. and them deliberately taking assets out of our hands, taking for you to tell me, you taking our asphalt plant, giving it to Chinese, taking our our quarry, giving it to NH, and then we paying them man loan instead of them we generating. So what blood clot shit, my brother?
We are public works as asphalt plant.
Where the Chinese have their asphalt plant, my brother? Some on the West Coast there.
So many West Coast, we exactly on the West Coast.
Some on the West Coast, my brother, I cannot tell you exactly where.
Polio, yeah.
Well, where?
Energy was there not too now. But to me, it's energy out there running that thing, you know, but that asphalt plant, you know, boy.
Where it was public works, whichever one. Public works had won.
Hold on a while.
Okay.
Not Chinese that then, I pass in there every Sunday, I can tell you, it's energy out there.
Well, whoever it is.
So NH have the asphalt plant and still so NH is public works.
Well, the point, basic point is a whole.
But what happened
But they all falling under planning because of resources of the state.
Yes.
And it's interesting to understand that Public Works Corporation was enacted in Parliament. And in that enactment, they were allocated those resources that now lie in the hands of
foreigners. So,
and that's all I can say.
The Prime Minister selling all our land, telling you we have nothing better to do. The Prime Minister taking all our resources and handing it to foreigners. So, what exactly Mr. doing for us as a people that people sick, man? The man blatantly destroying us, destroying everything that is Dominican to Dominicans for his and foreigners' benefit. Because I challenge the strongest labor supporter to show me how Mr. and his team of people improving the lives of regular Dominicans. Because I see the lives of NH improving and NH work foreign workers improving tenfold. Because when you come into a country and you get all the construction project, basically, the executives of NH must be greening, my brother. Public works systematically was destroyed to the point where the Prime Minister told us putting resources in ourselves is throwing it down a river. He said. So you did, then you take our national treasures, our national resources, and you hand it over to foreigners for pennies on the dollars, or for you. Me personally, NH is a company that have to be investigated when all that chips fall. It have a connection with the government. Guadacan, them man have to be forensically investigated, and everything have to be what is that?
Dominica Strong now.
Dominica Strong owned by Isidore I word on the street, and magically all of a sudden, so I just.
You see what happened yesterday with the little rainfall?
shell game.
Dominica Strong came Dominica to dredge all rivers. Huh? So we didn't have those kind of hazards when we have rainfall.
Yeah, that way.
You can't stop that.
Huh?
You can't stop river from coming down, and you can't stop stone from falling up. Good. So it's a so that's a PGZ move.
The only way you can really control the flow of a river is through a dam.
You have to dam the river.
Well, you see me as we speed topic than Pyro called.
You know what? You know what? So you know what? What I see is like, okay. Then remember, the river need the protection of the the trees on the embankments, you know, and all of that to keep, you know, to keep the system of the river protected. Now, you expose the river like that, you destroy the wildlife, well, the aquatic life, the view and all of that.
Yeah, you destroy the habitat, obviously.
And downstream now, all the soil that you disturb,
Yeah.
until the anchors grow back, every time you have that flow of water, that heavy flow of water, you're going to have all that sediment being carried downstream.
It
And-
has to be heavy. It's
well,
always flowing.
Yeah, so but eventually it's going to end up on the reef, which going to affect the
The
fish
fishing.
life.
End up in the
So,
reef,
you know,
definitely.
I can see where
So
you're
you
going.
already
with that,
have
brother.
you already have man that doing diving, fishing with their spear fishing and
It's a
doing their
chain
spear
of
fishing.
destruction.
Already saying the hole where they used to go and get their lobster, go and get their thing, it blocking up. You check, they can't go there now, and man that may be fishing on the rock as their little livelihood. When you take that away from them now, what they must come and do now? Ask for a handout.
That's why my intention
You know?
is to damage the environment.
And the environment well destroyed.
So you must come and beg me.
So to me, that is an attack, and to me that is how I interpreting it, and it's an attack just for one man to profit, to cut some corners
There's
and
not
to
one man.
Not one man, for the crew,
Yeah,
for the team, the crew to profit.
Because God can profit in. We don't know what the minister getting under the table. To check, we don't know who are getting the chain. But
Well.
definitely, what happening in the Cassibus River is illegal mining of the stones. That's for sure.
To me,
Because at the end of the day, if you're doing a road project, you must have quarries assigned to that road project. You check, you get the stones from the quarries. You check.
and there's
You
a
go
quarry,
and-
and there's a quarry close enough.
Yeah, when you go and you mine the stones from the river, you cut in costs.
Yeah, but you
Yeah, you cut in costs.
You cut
because
in
you're
costs,
not
but you-
paying for that.
you
You're not paying for it.
destroying
Yes, them man don't
the
care.
livelihood of
The
a
minister
whole
just
chain.
Just
Yeah,
turn
man.
his face and play a blind eye.
Yeah, you destroy a whole
the chief
livelihood.
physical
So you hear
planner,
that now,
the
that-
chief physical planner just turn her face and play a blind eye.
So the chief physical planner, what is her name?
Gino or something. I don't know.
So
I don't
the
know.
responsibility is either the box stopping with her or scary.
The box up with the minister.
With the minister.
Because the minister can overturn
Whatever
the
she
decision
what
of
she
the
did,
chief
what
physical
decision she
planner.
make.
Yeah,
So it's all about the minister.
yeah.
right. So
And see how
in a-
funny it is because now the minister is not trained.
In
None
planning.
of them think in environmental protection, in environmental, in any field
In
to
construction,
do with,
any
with environmental protection or engineering, you know, anything like that. The minister is not trained in none of them.
and his
But
PS
yet
is not
still-
trained too.
Oh, that's what the PS is not trained.
So we have a minister of planning who is a deck. We have a PS who is a deck.
Hello, doctor.
Doctor deck.
So the thing about it is, no, you see, you have to understand the framework. You check, that is what I want to get. So a minister can override a chief physical planner, right?
Yes.
But the chief physical planner is the person that is qualified to make the decision.
Yes.
Right? Now, the minister, he may have never worked, he may have never studied, he may have never had any type of experience.
He has
structure of the government
governances.
function. So he may have never had any type of knowledge, any type of experience, any type of interaction in that type of field. Yet still, because of how the hierarchy is structured and how the entire
political
power
system.
system is structured, he could overrule the chief physical planner's decision. So if the chief physical planner decides to issue a stop order for what Garakan is doing, or even to take Garakan to court, he could override that decision. You check, and then he could still just decide, well, okay, he just playing a blind eye to what God can do it. You check me, and that is, to me, that's what I see that is happening, because people complaining about it, so it's not like the authorities do not know about it. But so the authorities know. Yes,
but the big man block, the big man.
It's time for the people.
And that is what you see what Maggie said, and it's time.
Before Maggie,
we the people, you see us, we Dominicans, we have to take our responsibility, and this is what it is about.
And Cassius River is a prime example of
we have to
a
take
responsibility that the people have to
thing.
step up for.
Yeah, man.
Because you cannot destroy the livelihood of the river fisherman. Still come down river, destroy the livelihood of the bayside fisherman.
If that continue, the river could disappear.
Not just that, Nabujo, you see, all fishers on the east side already have a challenge, because they have the Sargasso right now that just come in now, and you know, it just kind of break down the fishing, especially when you do have boat and thing when you're fishing in the beach, right? So when they don't have that challenge now, they have now the challenge of the dirt coming down from the river into the sea. You know? So it's like fishermen on the east can't catch a break. I feel it their pain, brother. You check me, because I like to go and buy my fish and thing, and when you see they have a hard time, me also have a hard time.
So listen people, listen. Who we looking forward to take care and manage our business for us? As how do you derelict the duty?
Derelict.
Yeah, the derelict the duty. And we need, that is a serious thing to us. So you see that back here, we can sit down and say, hey lad, nobody do nothing for us. Yo, we can't just watch yours just go down and crumble. We have to get up and we have to come and do it ourselves, Rasta.
Like ants in the colony.
Yeah man, you have to look on it. Yo, don't never watch yourself and feel. If we come together and we go there and we say, yo, we have a problem with that and that needs to stop and we need to, yeah.
And you see, even with them thing, I'm looking at even like the minister, for example, the member of parliament that was elected from the Cassius constituency.
What is his name?
Bonnie, teacher Bonnie.
Minister of Education. And I'm looking at these people and I'm checking like, where is your value? You check like, you would really sit by and watch something like that happen in your constituency. Not do nothing
to
about
your people,
address it,
to your people. Not even say you say any constituency like, but to the people.
And what then people don't realize it, that is destroying the heritage or culture or society or community, you know, my brother. Because when you allow them activities to happen, eventually it will not affect the river in certain ways where the river in itself will not be able to sustain life.
It's already doing that. Fish is not.
You see, the thing is, when a man,
the river in itself might die out.
When a man,
how much people know livelihood that surrounded the activities surrounded within the river.
Not just the livelihood, you know, because when you do have money to go in the shop and buy a tin of corned beef, it will not have nothing living in the river
to go and
fish.
You didn't have video to collect.
You don't have video to collect.
And the recreation, because when I pass it, people I just seen in the bottom of the river, you're recreating.
I myself live in that.
So that higher than where man was by Mr. Vital, man.
But as you're talking about
Or lower
destroying,
down.
destroying the heritage of the people and,
Oh.
and so. Doing Grand Bay,
True.
where the people have a thing that they put their heart and soul into it to
Put
bring
their
it to
back on
a
that.
point. You
Back
know?
on.
And after this
That
storm and
internet
things,
is
they
sporting.
totally neglect it. You know? And instead of restoring what the people had already put their effort into, they destroy the stadium to put the apartment. So they are not about preservation of what that already there.
And adding to what already there.
You know,
They stick out one to put
it's-
another one.
Yeah. So they only
Sacrifice one for the other.
Yeah, and that have a psychological effect
Yes.
on the people because at the end of the day,
Yeah, not us that do that, so we can afford to wash it out there, so nobody will
and
see.
you destroying the heritage, you
yes.
destroying the history. Now your history now is a form of, is a symbol of mental encouragement, you know, my brother. Your history, your heritage is a symbol of culture.
Yeah,
right?
man, Rasta.
Empowerment is a symbol that encouraging you. You check
The people
so
accomplish
when you
that.
come and you exactly and you see what your great grandfather accomplished and you understand who that do that
Yes,
and
Rasta.
how they go about
Yeah,
doing
man.
it.
You're correct.
Brother, you
You're
mad,
absolutely
man.
correct.
That going to
brother.
give you a drive
Yeah, man.
to do whatever in your heart. But them man
So-
know when they
so-
destroy them thing, it's a form of crippling with the people.
Yeah.
So I can ask
Okay.
you a question there, Pyro. So you will say that the bishop from St. Lucia
Yes.
Yeah.
was a hitman to assassinate one of the central historical things that the people had come together and carry stones to actually build.
Yes, boy. Because Mr. never do that in St. Lucia.
You understand?
He'd never get the opportunity to do that in St. Lucia.
Well, you
How
see,
many of us
I'm
can
gonna say
remember the
something
floods of the
about that.
cathedral,
Slip
my
back.
brother, and
I'm gonna say something about that. You check.
destroy that?
Listen.
And you know how many? It have a decade now.
I wouldn't really say it's the bishop that destroyed the cathedral. You check the understanding of what restoration is. You check me because in Dominica, a lot of people feel because in now okay, like for example, I had a personal discussion with the bishop about the cathedral. You check, and even with the project we're doing now, you check me, and them man adamant about maintaining the architectural history. You check me? Them man, the bishop, like I can tell you straight, like for example, the Grand Bay Church man wanted to break that down. That man checking like straight up. Impossible. There's no way that's happening. You check? The church will never allow that. You check me? Same thing with the cathedral, but now is understanding what restoration is. You check? Come in and put in metal and rebar and modernizing basically the whole
Structure.
yeah. Some people mind it may look like yeah, you reinforce the walls. You reinforce the foundation. That is a way of bringing it into the future. But really and truly, that is not restoration. By the structure in a way where it will last much longer. But when you really look at restoration is you supposed it's initial value.
Yeah. Talking about old cruise ship back and thing, and that is one of the first places the cruise passengers used to be. They could just walk to the cathedral, you know. I don't want to, you know, linger on that too long. But
Yeah, I want to go back Castle Bros. Castle Bros.
But the bishop would put his word in Castle Bros
Yeah.
because it's still nature.
Because now
yeah.
Nonsense that happening.
this is the opportunity
Stand
for-
by the people.
it's what you saying, stand by the people. This is the opportunity for the leaders of the community and the constituency to rise and step forward. You understand me? You call the party rep that we not sit, but the other one on the other side that didn't lose by much.
Yeah.
It's also a person we have to point on. Why is his name Isaac Baptist?
No, that's Ernie.
Ernie Win. Ernie Win. Oh,
It's not Ernie.
who will represent
The
them?
woman in
A woman represent them workers.
yeah,
Yes,
last
it's
thing,
yourself.
So what will Isaac Baptist represent them?
Isaac Baptist
He's the
don't work.
president.
Where he from down there?
Yeah,
And he represented before.
yeah.
So then he's a person I want to point on.
But he from the
Well, in a way, I can see with you because he's an architect by profession
Exactly.
and he has an understanding of he
Yeah.
actually is an architect urbanist. He
Exactly.
specializes in urbanization.
Yeah.
So he in himself.
Supposed to have a concern and bring that to the fore and do
Most
something.
important-
But
most important,
Listen,
giving his
I don't
police,
know.
giving
I cannot
giving
get fed up of.
them talking
Yeah, but I
about-
just want to
given
want
his
to,
political positioning in the community.
Yeah, but you
and
see, you know why I tell you I kind of fed up on talking about them, man. Them man doesn't reach out to the people, my brother. Them
That's
man
what I
do
try to
looking
point
to
out.
mobilize people.
That I want to point out.
And
That's a true leader.
to me, when you stay on radio stations, even like staying behind a screen or anything like that. No, you have to come out in the community and stand up with the people and stand in the community and mobilize the people in the
Yes.
community and get things going.
That is what I
check.
say.
So them man, it's
That's why-
like myself I check in like.
Okay, so that's why I say
them
no
man-
pyro. No, that is the opportunity. Castle Bros people, the leaders in Castle Bros, the real leaders in Castle Bros. This is the opportunity for you to show yourselves. This is the opportunity for you to come, step forward, you check it.
Well,
Show
I believe
yourself
the
and
man
rally
and
the
them
people
coming
and continue that.
forward,
And I believe they.
I believe the man and them coming forward.
Yes,
Because
yes.
if the man and them wasn't coming forward, they wouldn't have put out video out there and they wouldn't have do this. Come out and make the world know what happened in Castle Bros.
Yeah, well, they're calling on all of them and
Yes,
say, come together.
like I check in. Right now the man and them coming out, so it's
First day we're gonna come down
we
there.
just have to come together and do what we have to do. You check, mobilize the people.
First day Moun Séwyè
to go
along
and
with
also
Afri
match it
Mater
with us.
and the
Breaking down
wave
planning.
people, you know. The wave people, the wave NGO wave, the wave what they are? What is it? You know, wave the Afri Mater.
Environmental organization called
Right,
WAVE.
right, that and Moun Séwyè and others. We're gonna be coming down there. Like the safari, we're gonna be going down to Castle Bros. We're gonna go to that river. So we hope that the leaders and the people of Castle Bros will join us there. You know? Because we're coming all the way from, we're coming out town, we're coming down there because it's Dominica.
Yeah, they know them people.
Yeah, boy, you're gonna reach them. I guess making an announcement. Let them know. So we spread the word.
Yeah, spread the word, but just checking the way you making it.
As you say that day, you know what I remember? They say the wicked flee when no one, the kind of response that evoke the very same document that ensures our fundamental protections So when you protect the state, you are talking about protecting us. We are the government. Your duty is not to protect a party. You are not the military arm of any party. So when the people decide to stand up for a noble cause such as a library, a public library that will facilitate you when you're on public time.
You always on private time.
Or private time, yes. When you're on private time, when you're off duty, you'll be able to go there. Or when you're no longer an officer of the state. Or your children can use the very same library that we're standing up for, and you send that kind of a response.
What?
Yeah, like a shower, so
Yeah,
thing
like
coming up there, so we're going to shift, we're going to relocate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just give us a moment.
Go up there. Next 10 minutes, I do another 5 minutes. Now
Which 5 minutes?
Switch it off with on live, we like to switch it off.
Then we'll be back in 5 minutes. We're going to relocate to a drier location. Stand by for rebroadcast.